Let me get to George in Louisiana. Hey, George.
Yeah, Dan. Yeah, Dan. You were talking about coal stocks a while
Yes, sir.
ago, and I was wondering on the long term about maybe investing for my son on a
Mhm.
long term in something.
Well, I think very long term, very long term. They. So here's the deal. I mean, they're very cheap now. You know, so very long term, they could be okay. But personally, I think I wouldn't put any money into mining stocks and I have some on my list, by the way, but mining stocks or coal, I just, even for the long term, if I were looking for a inexpensive, not that expense of a stock doesn't shouldn't mean anything, but if it did, I'd rather an inexpensive stock for a very long term. I'd rather own Wendy's. I mean, I would, I mean, um, I don't feel good enough. And frankly, there's going to be so much consolidation in the mining and coal industry, companies buying companies. And sometimes that can be a good thing. But the ones that can't consolidate for one reason or another because they have too much debt, nobody wants them or whatever, they're going to go out of business. And we don't know who that's going to be. So I wouldn't, I wouldn't do it. There's too many other things out there that for a long term, I believe would be far better.
So Wendy's would be one of those.
Yeah, if you're looking at just individual stocks that are inexpensive, it's not on my buy list right now, but Wendy's inexpensive stock that if you got a long term, there's some things I don't like about Wendy's from a financial perspective, but I don't think they're going anywhere. And they're a good company. They're due for a run, but that would be one for a long term might be a good situation, or a smaller energy company, maybe one of not a huge one, that is going to do well. Noble Oil or Apache Corporation. These are companies that are very strong, that are going to do well in the long run, in my opinion. And I think I would rather do that for a long term investment than anything else. I would even buy a big company, a ConocoPhillips or a Phillips 66 or one of those for the long term.